Ah, my good folks, you could not possibly have come at a better time because we are soon to be bound for Baker Street and beyond. J. Scott Phillips here, and today I'm here to announce the coming of Holmes is Where the Heart Is 2026. And that is to say, Holmes is Where the Heart Is 2026, which is a month-long booktube reading event created to celebrate Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's master consulting detective. And it was created back in 2024 by Jim at Mystery and Mayhem, created in 2024 by Jim at Mystery and Mayhem, along with his co-hosts that year, Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and my old pal Randy Ray, the Literate Texan. Now, last year, there was a new co-host, Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. He joined as co-host last year. And this year, there are some new co-hosts, and I'm very happy to announce that Jim invited me to join as a co-host this year, along with Alan at Alan's Reads and Roy at Roy Reads Anything. Now, sadly, you may have heard that Sean D. Standfast, who has been a cornerstone in this little corner of BookTube, passed away last week on Tuesday. He was also to be a new co-host this year, but unfortunately, we will not be seeing any videos from him. I know he was really looking forward to this event, and who knows what he might have served up to us this year with his vast knowledge of Sherlock Holmes, and maybe he might even have given us one of his AI videos that he was having so much fun with here in his last few weeks. We won't know, but he would want us to be moving along anyway and having fun with the event, and that's the point, really. But as a tribute, this year's Holmes is Where the Heart is to be dedicated to Sean D. Standfast's memory. And so there are some prompts that are changed up a little bit, I guess, from previous years. And you don't have to follow these at all. All you really have to do in order to participate in Holmes is Where the Heart is read some Sherlock Holmes. And it could be a novel, a short story, a pastiche. It could be anything, all of which will be covered in these prompts here. And Jim himself is kind of calling them out week by week 1, week 2, etc. Although you can mix them up however you want to, doesn't matter. But just to follow the prompts specifically here, week 1 is the canon, and those are the Sherlock Holmes stories written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle himself. He wrote 4 novels and 56 short stories, of a total of 60 Arthur Conan Doyle stories by his own hand. Week 2 is nonfiction about Sherlock Holmes, and that could be things like there are some kind of fun, I guess it would be still fictional, but biographies of Sherlock Holmes that have been put together by Sherlockian scholars and other fans. Or you could read a biography of Arthur Conan Doyle, or there are a lot of books about Sherlock Holmes and his London, so you can kind of follow in the footsteps of Sherlock Holmes. And in fact, I think that's even the title of one of the books that you might find, all about where things were in London at the time, or the places elsewhere outside of London that Holmes and Watson may have traipsed off to, those kinds of things. Week 3 is for pastiche fiction, and those are Sherlock Holmes stories written by authors other than Arthur Conan Doyle. And in fact, when I first started getting interested in Sherlock Holmes back when I was in college in the mid-1970s, one of the early sparks for my interest in Sherlock Holmes was Nicholas Meyer's The 7% Solution, which kind of, I felt, maybe it was just me, but I kind of felt that was reigniting an interest in those days of Sherlock Holmes in general. They made a movie and all of that. But there are many, many pastiche, more by Nicholas Meyer and many others to jump into and explore, because ever since Conan Doyle stopped writing Sherlock Holmes, the public has always cried out for more, and a lot of these books are easily found. And then finally, week 4 is what is being called legacy, and these are mysteries inspired by the character of Sherlock Holmes or characters from those stories. And just a few examples here. Solar Ponds by August Derleth are virtually Sherlock Holmes stories, but just with the name change to get around the copyright issues. Then there are parodies like Sherlock Holmes, for instance, by Charles Hamilton, which are very funny, and then other appearances of characters that are not intended to really make you think it's Sherlock Holmes, but are genuinely inspired by Sherlock Holmes, like William of Baskerville from The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. Now, again, I want to emphasize, you don't have to follow that calendar at all, but it does lay out the types of things, categories, and sorts of recommendations that fall under the umbrella of Holmes is Where the Heart Is. So if you read anything at all from that list, then you're in good company and can consider yourself having participated this year in Holmes is Where the Heart Is. Now, there is a group read that the co-hosts are participating in, and it would fall under the pastiche category. It's a Sherlock Holmes adventure written by Michael Hardwick, a novel called Prisoner of the Devil. And it's about Sherlock Holmes's involvement in the Dreyfus Affair, which was actual events in France in the late 19th century. And not sure yet how that will play out through the month of February, how the co-hosts will be talking about it, or we don't know yet, but more information to come on that. But if you do want to participate in it, you've got a little time here now to pick up a copy of it. And it is available as a physical book or an ebook, so whatever your preferred format is there. Now, all this information that I've been talking about here so far has also been covered by all the other co-hosts of the event in their own videos, and I'll leave links to all of those down below. But I just wanted to add a little something here towards the end of my video that gives a little more background into some of my history with Sherlock Holmes. And I've been reading Sherlock Holmes since I was in college. And around 1975, 76 or so, I was working at Disneyland. I grew up in Anaheim, so I was working at Disneyland in college. And I worked at the Riverbell Terrace in Frontierland Adventureland. And there was a guy there, Greg, who he and his twin brother, who worked at Oak's Tavern, another little restaurant just 2 doors down from the Riverbell. Those two guys were big into old vintage movies, and in particular comedies, and in particular the Three Stooges. But they were trying to make their own little movie. They had a Super 8 camera, and they were going to make this movie during the summer while working with all of us at Disneyland. And they wrote a story, a script for this movie called Danger Afoot. And it was about these two bumbling detectives played by Greg and Jeff. And they were on the trail of Bigfoot, who was apparently killing a lot of people in the Southland, around the area where we could shoot these Super 8 movies. And it was a lot of fun. His idea was to be able to bring in anybody who wanted, that we worked with, that anyone that wanted to participate or be in the movie, he would write a scene or scenes for them to participate in. And here's just a picture of these two guys. Butch and Buddy were their characters, and you can see that they are hot on the trail of Bigfoot, following the footprints, and here they are inspecting one of the footprints they found here. And they were nothing but footprints cut out of black construction paper that were plopped down on the ground, and you could pick them up and examine them with a magnifying glass and all that. So it was a lot of fun, and I played 4 different characters. I was a member of a bird watching group out in the park. We filmed a lot of this stuff out at Hillcrest Park out here in the area. And I played an equestrian statue also in the park. And then along with another guy, I played a Boo Boo Bear, and he played Yogi. And then I played Sherlock Holmes because Greg knew that I was getting into Sherlock Holmes, and it was a mystery movie. So he had a scene written for myself and another guy that we worked with, Wayne, and I was probably the worst casting choice ever for Sherlock Holmes. I was, 19 or 20 at the time we shot this thing, as was Wayne here, dressed as Dr. Watson. So here I am, dressed up in that old deerstalker and my dad's trench coat in the 90-degree summer sun out here in Anaheim. But it was a lot of fun. I wish I had a copy of that movie. It was just a Super 8 project that he and his brothers spliced together. They had music in it, and it was just a lot of fun. And it's lost track of Greg and Jeff over the years, but I'm sure they've got it in a can somewhere. I don't know if it's ever been converted to digital anything, but man, I wish I could show some clips from it because it was just so much fun. Something I forgot to mention when I was talking about making that movie back when I worked at Disneyland is, as a Sherlock Holmes fan yourself, I'm wondering, and maybe, leave a message in the comments, have you yourself, as a result of your fanhood of Sherlock Holmes, ever participated in some kind of a project or activity other than reading books or watching movies of Sherlock Holmes that you yourself participated in? Were you part of a club? Did you make a movie? Did you write a script? Have you ever yourself written a pastiche, maybe? Anything at all. It'd be fun to just kind of chat about something other than necessarily reading the stories here. Just let me know in the comments. All right, back to the video. But anyway, there you have it, folks. So I hope you're looking forward to Holmes is Where the Heart Is with me. And Sean, we're going to miss you this year. This year's for you. Hope to talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.